Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TheGingerBinger podcast. I am the original Ginger, Dylan, and with me today is the lovely
Shanny.
Great introduction, Shanny.
I'm sick.
Okay, you get that one for free. So, Shanny, what did we just see?
Star Wars, The Last Adventure?
The Last Adventure. Star Wars, The Last Adventure, yes. Oh, and spoiler alert for Star Wars, The Last Adventure. So, Shanny, in a nutshell, what happened? What was Star Wars, The Last Adventure about?
It featured sexual tension between Rey and Reno.
Rey and Reno. Okay, Rey. And who's Reno again?
Kylo Reno.
Kylo Reno. Okay. Kylo Reno.
Kylo Reno.
He is forever known now as Kylo Reno. But let's back up a second. Shanny, what Star Wars movies have you seen? Would you consider yourself like a mega fan or a diehard fan, just a regular fan?
Not a fan at all.
Not a fan at all. So why did you come see The Last Adventure with me?
Because I was stuck in the house for 4 days, and then I went to get the mail, and then I realized I haven't been outside for a while, and it was like an acid trip I felt like I was on, and then I was like, oh, I need to go back to society.
Okay. So, just so you know, I was not too thrilled about bringing Shane to The Last Adventure because when we watched The Force Awakens together, I watched it by myself beforehand. And then I showed her, she's like, I want to see a Star Wars movie. I said, okay, let's start with A New Hope. She's like, no, just show me the newest one. I'll figure out the rest from there. Whole time for the movie. Oh, who's this? Oh, this doesn't make any sense. Why is his name Solo? He's with someone.
And why is it Hans? He's not German.
His name is Han.
Yeah, but it's like Hans. And why is it Han? Everybody else has a normal name.
You're telling me Chewbacca is a normal name?
No, all the humans have normal names. Luke.
Luke. Obi-Wan. Very normal.
I thought that was the robot.
That's C-3PO.
Then who's Obi-Wan?
See? You missed out such a big thing. And yet the whole time you were...
He wasn't relevant.
Obi-Wan was relevant if you watch the 3 first movies.
I don't care.
Then why did you want to see the last one?
If they make a sequel, like 20 years later, then I should be able to not have to watch fucking 12 hours of the other films first.
Yes, they should. That's the point of a sequel.
That's too much effort for the new audience.
That'd be like me watching the new Blade Runner and expecting to know what the whole thing is about.
Yeah, but Blade Runner is 1 2-hour movie.
Yeah, but it felt like a good 4-hour movie.
Because you fell asleep.
And it was boring.
Anyway, Star Wars.
Okay, so describe to me The Last Adventure with Kylo Reno.
The beginning of the movie. I don't remember what happens at the beginning. And then all of a sudden we're with Rey and Luke. And then he's like, "Where?" And she's like, "But." And then they sit on the island and Chewbacca eats the little penguin. And then the penguins look at them like, "Ooh," because they're watching a friend get eaten by Chewbacca. And it's the most gruesome thing in Star Wars.
Fair point, pretty gruesome.
And then Kyle and Rey.
Kyle. Pretty good Kyle. Kylo is the total, he's the douchebag of the universe.
And then they get all touchy-feely inside of Rey's tent. And then Luke walks in on them.
Does Luke block Kylo?
Yeah, what?
Does Luke block Kylo?
Luke cock blocks Kylo.
Okay.
And then Luke is mad at Rey for being a mean teenage girl and going with whatever her heart says and going places she shouldn't be going.
So Rey went after Kylo Reno after Luke told her no.
And then for some reason she goes onto the ship of the bad guys, even though I thought she was trying to get on the ship of the good guys.
Okay.
And then she's in like a fucking tomb. Or like a casket, and then she like opens up, she sees Kylo's face, and then she's like shocked for some reason. I was like, oh, did she not mean to go on the ship? And then I was super confused, because I thought she was trying to get on the good guy ship. And then they bring him up, and then he slices the bad guy who looks like a deformed fetus. Like a...
What was his name? What was the deformed fetus's name?
Snape.
Snape, the deformed fetus Snape. Okay.
And then Kylo cut him in half and is like, blur, blur, blur.
Did he make that noise himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on up. If you're gonna be mean, come on up. And then Rey and Kylo have sexual tension again, and then they fight all the baddies. And then he's like, marry me, form with me. And then she's like, no.
Did he drop down on one knee and have a ring and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ring was a lightsaber.
The ring was a lightsaber. I think there'd be many women out there who would die for that.
The Asian girl that wasn't Rose. Or was she Rose? I think her name was Rose.
Okay, so the Asian girl named Rose.
And then...
Her race does not define her, Shane.
And then the black guy, Finn.
Okay, now you just remembering the race first, then their name second. I see how this is.
Well, I mean, it was so rare for Star Wars to actually have people of color until these movies. We do have a golden guy in the earlier movies.
They did have African Americans as well. It was just in the later movies.
Was it in the background?
Was it? Excuse me?
Were they
I would just like to say that the TheGingerBinger podcast likes to support everybody of all diversities and think we should all be getting along.
Anyways, Finn and Rose, question mark.
So let me lay off the list of characters. We have the aborted fetus named Snape. We have Kyle Reno. We have Rose question mark. We have the black guy Finn.
Yeah. So Finn and Rose go on their little ventures and they go to a casino and she tasers him. And then there's like these big doggy horsies.
Big doggy horsies, okay.
Big doggy horsies with like crazy big ears.
Crazy big ears. What would you call these crazy doggy horsies with crazy big
the
ears?
Crazy doggy horsies.
Crazy doggy horsies. All right, I think that's probably in the script.
The crazy doggy horsies are like race horsies, and then they ride the race horsies, crazy doggy horsies.
Okay.
And the city's after them, and then
Like the city itself, like the landscape.
like the city guards are after them, and then rip off R2D2 comes.
So rip off R2D2. For those who aren't familiar, what does he look like? Oh, okay.
Yes, I made that sound. That one. They come with the stuttering guy who's like dar, 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 the stutter hacker.
The stutter hacker. Okay,
Yeah.
so we don't have a name for him. He's just the stutter hacker.
Do you know his name? Nobody remembers.
I am asking the questions here. Thank you.
So stutter hacker and the rip off R2D2 have a ship that they stole, and then they take Finn and Rose question mark.
Okay.
And then they go onto the bad guy's ship to get rid of a tracking device thing
Okay.
that I can't remember exactly what it was, but it looked like the fucking thing from Back to the Future, the
flux capacitor?
Yeah, it looks like the flux capacitor from Back to the Future.
We're combining universes. I mean, it did happen a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so...
So they're trying to go back to the future and save Princess Leia and the rest of the rebellion. And I don't remember why they're out in the spaceship the whole time. And then they get caught, and then Hacker Dude...
Stutter hacker, right?
Stutter Hacker Dude
Okay.
tells the golden... Oh, fuck, what's that girl's name from Game of Thrones? The one that I always thought was Joan of Arc.
Oh, you mean the silver girl?
Yeah.
Not the golden girl.
Oh, Silver. What's her name? Barb?
Let's call her Barb. I think Barb worked. I think Barb was originally the name of the script. So Barb is on the ship.
So Barb's there, and Stutter Hacker tells Barb that there's like the little invisible ships of the rebellion that got off the big ships that have all the soldiers on them, and they're going to their little salt lick planet.
The Salt Lake planet. Okay.
And then
Very dignified.
And then the bad guys start shooting at the rebellion that's supposed to be invisible, but now they know about it because Stutter Hacker guy. And then they shoot at the shippy, and I can't remember what happens, and then the purple hair lady girl turns the ship around, like the big ship, and then she goes, "Fear, light speed ahead," into the big ship. And
that is what she said. She's quoting the movie right there.
And as Finn and Rose are about to get executed by Barb, the ship bashes into the ship that they're on, and then everything, all hell breaks loose, and there's fire and blur, 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 blur. And then Finn and Rose...
Was Barb making that noise, or what?
No, I'm gonna bring her up after.
Okay.
Then Finn and Rose, are running around the ship and trying to escape, and then Barb comes along, and then Barb's like, blah, blah, and then Finn, like, stabs her eye, and then he can see that it's, like, an actual person underneath, and then it's like, is he gonna save her? And then he just lets her die. And she falls to her abyss and probably chokes to death in the galaxy, which also made no sense because the ship was ripped open, yet nobody was sucked outside. But earlier in the film, the good guy's ship was ripped open and everybody was sucked outside, and then all of a sudden, Princess Leia just kind of came back to life and was like, let's go down to the ship again. Even though she was dead for like 10 minutes beforehand. Why was she like frozen dead in space, and then she's like,
Maybe Leia's just a stronger name than Barb. Gave her the strength.
And then they got on the little Salt Lick planet, and they're just cute little puppy dogs made out of little ice, and they're so cute. And the whole planet looked like it was bloody. Mm-hmm. Because it was all red, and then there's like white stuff on top. And then they got into a little dome thing, and...
Like the Dirty Dome?
Like the Thunderdome.
Like the Thunderdome, okay.
So they got into a dome thing in the mountain, and that's where they're hiding out. But the bad guys knew they were there, so they're waiting outside for them. And then they wanted to ram inside the door.
Ram inside. Ram inside with what? What were they using for a ram?
A power laser.
A power laser.
Yeah,
okay.
but I thought they were going to do the Mulan thing.
The Mulan thing. What is that like? All of them just grab the nearest rock and start smashing?
No, the scene in Mulan where they're trying to get in the door and they take a huge step and they all ram at it and go, "Arr!"
Okay, I was thinking like all the bad guys dress as women to break in, like the Mulan thing.
And
that would have been a whole different movie.
So they have their laser ready. I'm gonna fire my laser. And then for some reason the good guys decide they want to go outside and battle the big fucking laser, which I don't understand. It makes no sense. And then Finn was on a suicide mission with Rose. And then I thought they were in the same spaceship, but apparently she was on a different one because he kept going for it, and she was like, no, turn back, and then she crashed into him. But I thought they were part of the same ship. Mm-hmm. Like, it made no sense, but anyway, she saved him.
Quotation marks?
Yeah. And then the laser goes through the door, and then Luke comes out, and Kylo's like, "Blur, fire on my laser, blur, 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 blur." And then nothing happens to him, so he's like, "I missed your crikey pants." And
I think he said that too.
Yeah. And he walked outside and tried to fight Luke, and then he realized he was a ghosty. Oh yeah, and then Yoga, yes,
yeah. Yoga is correct.
Yoga came back for some reason. He was a ghost, and I was really confused because he had this like blue light around him, and in some shots he didn't. And then all of a sudden he just kind of put the tree on fire. He's like, "Blur, lightning," and I was like, but he's a ghost. How can he not, like, how could he control stuff? It made no sense. And why was he only in this part? Why is he not in other parts of the movie? Why was he not in the last movie? I'm so confused. And then Kylo's like, "Meh," and then he realizes that Luke was just distracting him, and then Luke kind of vanished because I guess he used all his power or something. I don't know. And then Luke died. And then all the rebellion people ran outside the cave, and they got on the spaceship and flew away home.
And that was the Star Wars The Last Adventure, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, Shani, I don't think anyone could have told it better, and honestly, I thank you for that rendition. What in the blue hell? I was trying so hard not to laugh.
I can't remember how it ended. Oh, the little fucking jockey boys were like, "I'm part of the rebellion," with their little ring.
The little jockey boys.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole subplot right there that we didn't go into, folks. We just didn't have time.
Yeah.
So, Shani, how would you rate Star Wars: The Last Adventure?
5 puffins out of 8.
5 puffins?
Yeah.
5 puffins. All right. Perfect. You heard it here first, folks. 5 puffins out of 8. Shanny.
You can put that on the back of the DVD.
Yeah, we'll put that on. We'll get T-shirts. 5 out of 8 puffins. Yeah, that was a very interesting movie, though. I have to say, I enjoyed the part. There was some points where I'd rather have you describe me the movie than what happened. I would say they had a few stories going on. They had Finn and Rose. They had Poe and Leia on the ship.
Oh, that's his name. I forgot.
Poe, yeah.
He's pretty.
Think of the Teletubby. Poe.
Or you could think of Zelda. Poe.
Oh, okay. I'll call him Pooh.
Pooh.
And then you have Rey and Kylo and Luke, that storyline. Out of all 3, Luke's and Rey's storyline was definitely the most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care about Finn's or Rose's. I didn't really care about Poe's. I felt like Poe's was drug on way too long with, we can't abandon the ship. Why not? That's exactly what I would do. Leave the damn ship and live to fight another day.
They should have all just kamikazed into the other ship.
Everybody, come on!
Or if the purple hair lady wasn't so selfish, that's what she would have done in the first place. As soon as all the other people got off.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, well,
it's like you're gonna die anyways. You might as well kill other people along with yourself.
TheGingerBinger.com does not agree in this opinion. That is strictly Shanny's opinion. Yeah, I thought at first they were going to reveal like somebody's a traitor on the ship, and it was going to be like a mystery of who's the traitor.
Ship?
Yeah, I was thinking, ooh, it's going to be the purple hair lady. Like, I'm the one who told the rebel or the.
I'm the one who knocks.
I'm the one who knocks. She just sits Poe down. I was pleasantly surprised though that they killed off Snoke as early as they did.
Oh, Snape.
Yeah, Snape.
Why?
I was actually very happy though because I was like, I was not expecting that. My prediction was they were going to turn Rey to the dark side and Kylo to the light side, and Luke was going to die in like some kind of invasion of like the Knights of Ren, and then Rey betrays him like. Ah.
So you didn't think Rey was going to stay on the dark side with Kyle?
I thought they were going to switch places.
Oh, I thought they would stay on the same side.
Nope.
Because he would like seduce her and be like, no, we touched.
They touched tips?
Yeah, they did. Twice.
Technically they did. I was thinking that they were going to do that, and that was going to be the whole redemption of Kylo Ren and the condemnation of Rey. I'm pleasantly surprised though. Like I wasn't expecting Kylo to kill his master and then be like, I'm in charge. I'm like, I like that. It fits with his character. He just wants to be a bad guy.
He doesn't want to be told what to do.
Yeah, he's like a teenager. He's like me, except I'm not a teenager. I found in this movie a lot of the creatures they added in were solely for like toys.
Marketing. Yeah,
totally.
the puffin.
Totally.
Puffin you see fucking everywhere, but it's barely in the movie.
It doesn't do anything.
I thought it'd be like the R2-D2 knockoff guy, but it's not. He's like literally in there for 5 shots, and there's goes, multiple ones. Yeah.
He's there for comic relief, if anything. I was thinking that the snow Pokemon-looking creatures, the crystal foxes. I was like,
the salt foxes.
I was like, oh, well, they were just added. They didn't do anything. And then he's like, where are they? I'm just like, okay, they had a purpose. That's clever.
The puffin did not.
The puffin did not. I thought it was really clever though how they had it like being on that planet with the sand, or not the sand, the salt. How that was like when he goes through Luke and then you see him slide and it has the red. I'm like, that's them showing like blood without having to show blood.
Oh, is it?
That's how I took it. I was like, that's why it's so red. I'm like, that is so cool. And then I thought at first was a cop out when Luke's like, I'm not dead. Because at first I was like, oh, did he like die in Star Wars fashion where he's like, I'm one with the Force now, that's why I'm not dead. But he's like, nope, I'm not even here. Bye. I was like, how can everybody else see him then? But then I figured it out.
Why did he decide to die then? And how did he die? He just kind of vanished. I don't get it.
So this harkens back to the old Star Wars movies. When Obi-Wan and not Yoga, died, they became one with the Force.
Okay, but how did they die?
Obi-Wan was struck down by Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And Yoda died of old age.
Okay, but like Luke just kind of died for no reason.
I think it was don't let her in. Don't let her in. That's the reason I closed the door. Don't let the damn cat in.
She's so sad.
I hope she's crying out there. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, okay, so that's Luke becoming one with the Force. His time is spent. He's done. He's given all his energy, and he's dying in peace. He's dying in peace. That's what that was. Mm-hmm. He's done his job. He's redeemed himself. I did like, though, I wanted them to show a little bit more of, like, Kylo Ren's backstory of, like, how he became. But I was so interested when he's like, hey, he tried to kill me. I'm like, oh, that's a twist. I wasn't expecting Luke to be like, go all full, like, Freddy Krueger on the kid.
So why can Yoda come back as a ghost?
He's one with the Force.
But he can also control the Earth.
Again, that just kind of came out of nowhere. But again, being one with the Force, Yoda was always known as being the most powerful. Again, this make it sound like I'm defending it because they didn't give a logical explanation. But knowing the other movies, you're like, I can just suspend my disbelief and be like, yeah, I can buy Yoda doing that. He's totally, badass.
So why can Yoda come back but not Obi-Wan?
That's because they don't have an actor to play Obi-Wan.
Oh, did he die?
The guy who played Obi-Wan in the original one died like a few years after the original was made.
Well, they could just, like how they did Tron. Jeff Bridges, obviously he's old, but they also had his young version, Clue. So what they did is they just took an actor and they CGI'd his young face onto the actor.
That looks crap. It always does.
I didn't mind it. Besides, I think Star Wars has enough. There was a couple scenes in Star Wars that CGI was shit.
What scenes were those?
I can't remember. One of them was the puffin one, and I can't remember what the fuck the other one was.
I gotta go on a rant. So one thing I'm not a fan of is I get why you CGI an actor's face to make him look younger. Here's my thing. Just pay another actor who looks similar to him, who you could buy. I am perfectly fine with that. You don't need a CGI. Just literally pay an actor just who looks like him. I guarantee you could find someone who looks like Jeff Bridges, Jeff Goldblum, or whoever.
Yeah, but the thing with the Tron Jeff Bridges thing is it had to look exactly like him, exactly how he did in the old movie, or else it made no sense.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Tron.
I like Tron.
Yeah, well, Star Wars is what we were talking about.
I was thinking about Tron when we were watching Star Wars.
Were you just hoping you'd see Tron instead? Oh, please.
Tron was a good movie.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying it was Star Wars.
It had a good theatrical experience. It was made to be watched in the theaters.
Well, that sucks for DVD sales then. But no, I enjoyed it. There were some parts where I'm like, okay, can we speed this up? It never felt slow. It just felt like I was like, I'd rather go back to watching this. I'd rather go see the Rey and Luke stuff. Don't care about Finn and that romance at the end where they kiss, that felt forced.
Okay, she was like, oh, I'm alive and I love you, kiss, kiss, die. Like
but she didn't die. It was this. It's the. I think of it like the Dark Knight death with the Talia girl. She's like, the fire will burn, and then she goes.
It's like she wasn't even gasping for air or anything. She was just like having a normal conversation. Then she like had a fucking aneurysm and just died.
Yeah, I mean the Force works in mysterious ways. One thing though, I would have to say that I would. And I find this with a lot of movies, when they have their super epic moments, I feel like a lot of like movies, like superhero movies too, need to have just a little restraint on humor. I am all for funny moments taking the piss out. But the moment when Rey reaches out and Luke has that thing, like touching her hand with it.
His penis?
No! What part of the movie did Luke take out his penis?
I don't know.
Did you fall asleep for that part? When Rey reaches out and when he says reach out and he has that leaf, he's like, I'm touching, he's like, ah. To me, that didn't feel like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
it didn't feel like his character. That felt like Mark Hamill could have been messing around with that, but that felt like a writer writing that. It was just like, we need a joke here. It's like, it didn't fit with the character, and that certain things like that just didn't work. That's why in The Force Awakens it had a lot of good jokes, because Han Solo was a wisecracker. Mm-hmm. So when someone goes, we can use the Force, and he goes, that's not how the Force works. It's funny because that's how he would say it. That's what he would say. Or when he goes, hey Solo, and he's like, did you just call me Solo? Like just small moments like that. That one just felt out of place to me.
Like, I haven't seen the other Star Wars. I only seen Rogue One. And
you saw Rogue One?
Yeah, I've seen it alone. I didn't see it with you.
I remember that.
So I only seen the new ones, but like, so I don't know anything about Luke, but even just seeing that, I was like, well, that doesn't really seem like what he would be doing, because he's like alone on the island the whole time. He's just kind of like this grumpy old man, and then all of a sudden he's just like, hey.
Yeah, that doesn't just...
It was like the 2 times in the movie that he actually had comedy, it just didn't really fit him.
Yeah, it felt like maybe the Joker from the Batman animated series, maybe he was channeling that character.
He's like, shit, what character am I playing again? I'm so old, I can't remember.
I would have died laughing if midway through, like when he went to fight Kylo Ren, he's like, see ya, he would have gave like a choke, like, Kylo Ren's like, oh my god, he's insane.
When Kyle wakes up to see Luke almost kill him, he just says like, like
that would be hilarious. He's got the full... Wrong movie, no! Oh, that would be beautiful. Oh my god. So, Star Wars The Last Adventure 2 then.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of... Oh, going back to what you said about Leia getting pulled out into space, I was like, oh, they killed her up. I'm like, I wasn't expecting them to do it so early. Because you know what happened with Carrie Fisher, that she passed last year.
I thought they would kill her at the end of the movie.
I figured...
Eventually.
Here's what I thought when they did the first few movies. When they killed Han, I'm like, okay, I think each movie they're going to kill one of the old cast.
Yeah.
They have to. I was thinking this was going to be Luke's movie. When they did that, I was like, oh, damn. Because when I heard she died, I'm like, okay, they're going to kill her in this movie. It makes sense. But apparently she had a lot to do, like, in this movie. I think the next movie, too, so it's going to be hard how they work around that.
So, was she finished? I assume she was finished.
I think she was finished most things on this movie.
So, the rest is just CGI her face? Or what?
I'm not sure.
Because she's in it for a good portion.
Yeah, they probably cut some scenes out or something.
They must have something for... They're either going to kill her at the beginning of the next movie, or they're barely going to have her in the next movie.
Yeah.
Or they're going to have her in for a little bit at the beginning and then kill her midway through.
Yeah, well, you just gave all the options of what you could possibly do with a character.
No,
I mean, we could just write her off. Well, I mean, they did it with the Hunger Games with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Who did he play? Plutarch? Is that his name?
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Yeah. Because he kind of just, he's through the movie and all of a sudden midway through he just disappears completely and then shows up at the end and says a line. Like, you just you can tell it's like, okay, they had to write him off. It's like, oh. It's sad. Which is interesting. In Rogue One, I know you wouldn't know this because you're not a Star Wars fan, but there's a guy in the first original Star Wars who they CGI'd his face.
Like back then?
No. Into his character that he played now, because the actor was old then and he passed on.
Yeah.
But they did that. They almost made like not an animatronic, but like a
mask.
Like they pasted his face over someone else, and it looked fine. And it was a little spots where you're like, But I think
this is not Superman's upper lip.
Superman's upper lip is a beast on its own. That should be a T-shirt. Just literally the upper lip of Superman.
Even Superman can't save the day.
I'll finish this CGI. Even Superman can't save this crap. No, I always thought it was weird. Like, do you sign something in your contract that says you cannot use me after I'm dead, or is it just open-ended?
I think it's because technically they're still contracted to the movie, so they can use their image.
But he wasn't contracted for that movie. He was contracted for the original Star Wars.
And he died before that movie?
Then he died during the movie. Like, his character died also in that movie.
Okay, but the person himself died during the filming of Rogue One?
No, that person has been dead for years.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to get to. So it's whoever, like, his next of kin or his wife or whatever probably owns his...
estate.
Yeah, so that's probably where they go to.
No, I'm just curious. You could probably... That's probably a thing, though, that actors are signing now. You cannot use me for future. That's probably something that they get... Like, they pay actors like me for. They'll probably be like, okay, they'll have a sign. We can use your likeness 50,000 years after you're dead if this ever takes off, and we won't have to pay you a single dime. No, I thoroughly enjoyed that experience. Although I do have to admit, okay, so we got out of there at what time? Like 9:50?
Almost 10?
Yeah, almost 10 o'clock. It started at 6:50. We sat through, I feel like, 45 minutes of
I
credits.
think it was a whole hour. And we didn't even come in that early. We came in like 20 minutes to 6:50.
Yeah, And here's the thing. I think it wasn't an hour, but it was. I swear it was probably 30 minutes.
It was more than 30 minutes because it was the pre-commercials. So like the commercials
ads.
promoting new movies and the fucking Taylor Zipman talking to fucking the rejected Jonas Bro about fucking what's that? Jumanji. Fuck. Robin Williams is probably rolling in his grave because of everything they've done to Jumanji.
I guarantee you that was something he held so close to his heart.
Yeah, there was like a good half an hour of that, and then it got to like the normal commercials of fucking cars constantly, and then it was the trailers, and then it was the movie.
It felt like 40 minutes. And I think everybody in the theater was having the same thing, like, oh my god, start the movie.
And they put more ads in because it was Star Wars.
Yeah, totally. There were definitely a lot more ads.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. It should literally... I think 10 minutes is an acceptable amount of time. Where movie starts at 6:50, 6:40, it should start at 6:50.
Mm-hmm.
The trailers don't start at 6:50, the movie. So you have, 10 minutes, let's just do 6 minutes of ads and a few trailers. I'm fine with that. That was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's probably like, it was only like 10 minutes. It felt like 40, so...
Yeah.
Regardless.
And it wasn't even like people were coming in during the trailers and stuff like people normally are. Everybody was there as soon as the second round of commercials started, and everybody was like, what the fuck?
It was outrageous. And yes, oh my god. I think there needs to be like a pullback on that, because it's if a third of my time is watching the commercials, I might as well just stay at home. Mm-hmm. The whole point of going to a movie is that I don't have to sit through commercials. That I leave my house and put on pants to go see a movie and get expensive food. I don't want to sit through 40 minutes of commercials. You hear that, Cineplex?
And when the commercials were playing, I turned to Dylan and I was like, if I wanted to sit through an hour of ads, I would have just watched the Emoji Movie.
Yeah. You couldn't wait to get that joke in there. We were watching it when the Star Wars logo came up. There was a guy in front of us who, as soon as that came up, he got, I don't know what, but he was so excited he started like shaking his hands and everything. Was it? Oh, I thought it was a guy. Oh. And then I heard one guy go, ugh, and he was talking, and I literally gave like a glance over, and I think a lot of people he felt the glare from like a few people, because he was one thing he started saying, and then he just went quiet the rest of the movie.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He didn't start saying something loud, but as soon as it started, I could hear him start to like test to see if this was going to be one of those crowds that cheered or not. It's like, buddy, no. That's one thing I cannot stand about going to a movie, is when people cheering at the end of a movie is fine, Hell, I'll even cut them some slack. I don't personally like this, but Star Wars, like the name comes up, you go, and everybody just goes, woo, or just claps. Cool. When you see stuff like the Millennium Falcon, you do not, in the middle of the movie, you shut your mouth.
Well, I went to see Beauty and the Beast, somebody fucking started clapping at the end. It was so embarrassing. I was like, please stop.
I have always found it weird clapping for a movie that no one who's worked on is there for.
It's literally just like you and your friends and like a couple other people that work at like fucking McDonald's and shit. And they're just fucking clapping for no reason.
It works if you're with a bunch of your buddies in your own house and the movie's entertained you so much and you're doing it like just like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. But like again, like I remember when we were in college, when we would have this class. It was called, what was it, multimedia? No,
it was
media workshop.
Yeah,
and we would watch our films because we went to film school.
Films.
No, not our films. We'd watch
people's films and we learned from them.
Yeah, and this was when the first years of the class and the second years of the class had one class together. And our year and second year, we'd already been through, we'd watch the movies, and we'd just sit there. But the first years would always clap, and it always struck us all as odd. And here's a part two. All of those guys seem to be cool, but my god, when they were trying to start the whole trend of snapping instead of clapping, no good sir, I bid you a farewell.
We're not in a fucking cafe.
No.
I know we're from Halifax, but we're not that hipster.
No, pretentiousness all around right there. Oh, I feel if I was a producer and I made a movie and instead of, clapping would be fine, but if you started snapping at the end of my movie, I would break every one of your fingers for that. Oh. Just please, just don't. I guarantee you, if anybody ever listens to this, I'm just going to constantly people are going to just snap at me constantly. I'm like, I hate all of you.
You gotta create a meme.
Create a meme. Snap at the ginger. Ginger snap. That's what everyone's going to call me now. Ginger snap.
Boys made ginger snap. Aww.
But no, I'm other than the guy who had his phone on behind us, I think. Cause
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the lightsaber makes a noise.
Yeah, and then it's like, what the hell? And I'm just like, turn off your phone. But at least it only happened twice, so it wasn't it was a small text. It wasn't like, I have heard horror stories. Thankfully, going to the movies, I've never had these happen to me, but I've heard horror stories of someone picking up their phone and start talking loudly in a movie. It's like, inconsiderate. What in the blue hell do you think you're doing?
I would call them out.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Shut the fuck up.
That's why it's like, I feel like I always want to just buy a soft drink from the movies, just so it's like, just if someone ever.
I ain't spending $5 to throw it at some motherfucker.
I would just to be like, yeah, hit you with a root beer.
Did you ever see the vine of the woman at the movie theater? So it's like a girl, and they're just watching a movie, and there's a girl on screen, and she's like, oh no, you didn't. And then the girl in the theater goes, oh fuck, what she
Is this a real setup, or is this something that they staged?
No, it was real. She was like, you go, girl. And then some woman down the audience was like, shut up. And she's like, no, girl. The vine's so funny.
Who's vining in a movie?
There's people that have sex in the movie theater, and
that makes sense. Because sex is awesome. Vining in a movie is just obnoxious.
But the vine is coming back, Dylan.
Yeah.
You could be the new Vine stars. You could be the new Jake Paul.
I think,
And I could be the new Lele Pons.
Who? The only reason I know who Jake Paul is because you watch all those videos of people like, oh, Jake Paul is cancer.
Everybody's kind of off the Jake Paul train anyways.
Oh, so you're going to find the next flavor of the month to hate?
Oh, it's Rice Gum right now.
Who's Rice Gum? I got too much shit to worry about than just hating on people. I got better things to do.
So Star Wars.
Yeah, so Star Wars. Let's hate on that somewhere. No. So what do you think is going to happen in the next movie? Your predictions.
Ray and Kyle are going to do the dirty.
They're going to do the dirty?
They're going to touch again.
Are they going to be on screen? Are they going to full nude in a Disney movie for once?
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to see Kyle.
You want to see Kylo Ren's lightsaber?
Yeah.
There you go.
Is it red or blue?
It's long, that's for sure.
So they're going to do the dirty. And then the Puffin's gonna watch them do the dirty.
Is his face gonna be shot?
No, the Puffin's gonna do the dirty of Chewbacca.
Okay, interspecies relationship, I like.
And then, Poe.
Poe. Okay, we're gonna call him Clue.
Poe's gonna do the dirty with Finn.
Why is Finn and him gonna do the dirty?
I don't know, because I seen people on Tumblr ship it like 2 years ago when the first film came out.
Sure,
so
I can get behind.
I assume so. And then Rose is gonna wake up from her coma and find out that Finn and Clue did the dirty, and she's gonna be no.
Is she gonna turn to the dark side?
Yeah, and then she's gonna be the new Kylo Ren.
Nobody loves me. Oh, so let's talk about a movie we saw last week, The Disaster Artist.
No.
What did you think of that movie, Shani?
I liked it.
You liked it? I would describe it as, and I feel like you would agree, it's one of those movies that makes you cringe the whole way through. And it took me like 20 minutes to half an hour to get comfortable with that, because I hate when something makes me cringe. I just want to turn it away.
Yeah.
And then you just get used to it, because there are moments where you're like, ah.
It's just like if somebody rubbed alcohol into your wound and you just
you just want to run away from it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like watching your friend go up and do stand up and they're just bombing.
Uh-huh.
And I guarantee you, all of my friends have done that watching me because I have bombed.
But none of your friends got it.
And John came and Terry came.
Yeah. Terry?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Oh yeah. Yeah, the thing that makes it more cringy is like most movies when you see like a cringy part, you're like, but at least it's just like in a script. But with this movie, because it was based on a true thing, you're like, oh fuck, that actually happened, which makes it 10 times more cringy.
Yeah, it's like, how did this, how much of this actually happened? But it's like, I feel like a good chunk of this was like based on like,
Especially the scene where Tommy Wiseau goes up, like in a fancy restaurant, goes up to a producer and like just acts out Shakespeare in front of him, and it's like, oh god, kill me.
oh, that's one thing I would never want to be a big producer for, because like just moments like that, I'm like, if I was that producer, I'd be like, a giant spider, if someone could just eat him right now, it'd be beautiful. It's like, is there an assassin in here? Someone, please.
There's meteoroids that hit the Earth like every hour. Why can't one just hit me right fucking now?
What would you do, Shannon, if we were at dinner? Okay, let's set the scene. We're at dinner, and then someone comes up and starts acting Shakespeare. Like for us, let's say they're trying to get an audition for a film of ours.
I would die and run under the table and bash my head against it and hope that I just bleed out. And I have cancer in my lungs or something.
Jesus. So, safe to say is you would not be comfortable.
No.
You would never hire that person.
No.
No, we are not letting the cat in.
I just want to cuddle.
Too bad. She's going to be loud and she's going to get into stuff. Okay? She's probably going to knock the mic over.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
She'd pay more attention to that damn cat than you do me.
Yeah. She needs it.
Why does she need it?
Because she's a baby. She has nobody else.
You two are made for each other.
I'm gonna let her in.
No! Nobody listens to me.
Hey, baby girl. We're sorry.
I am not. I hate you.
Come on now. Come on. There we go. She gonna be good.
Hope she bites you. Right in the nose.
Anyways.
So yeah, the disaster movie was one of those...
Disaster Artist. Disaster movie's a different movie.
Oh god, that's a terrible spoof movie, isn't it? Oh, the Disaster Artist was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I would, now we haven't seen The Room. We have to preface this with that. We have not seen The Room. So, we definitely have to now watch The Room and, check out.
I've seen tons of reviews.
I've seen reviews, clips. I've basically seen The Room without seeing The Room. But yeah, I do have to say though that James Franco, when I was watching it at first, his impersonation grew on me. But when the first 30 minutes, I was like, this sounds just like James Franco doing an impersonation. But after a while, you just get used to it.
I think it's because it's so outrageous because you don't expect somebody to actually talk like that or look like that or act that way. And then you see Tommy Wiseau. Come on up.
Did you just jump from the squeak?
Yes.
What was we saying? Oh yeah, Dave Franco though did a great job.
Yeah,
as his brother.
Dave Franco.
He was really good. The age difference between those guys though is interesting. How they're brothers.
Are they like 10 years apart?
It's something like that. Well, James Franco was in like a young adult in like 2002 when he was in Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Oh yeah.
Or James Franco, and Dave Franco was a teenager, a young man in 22 Jump Street, which came out in 2012. So yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah,
makes perfect
about
sense.
10. But James Franco looks so fucking old in that movie.
Well,
like he had wrinkles and everything.
Yeah, that's the idea. That hair though. Hi, babe. I still want to know where that money came from. I don't care about his age or anything. I want to know where he got that money.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like,
He spent $6 million on a film that like grossed what?
$1,800
in a day only.
Well, no, it was a week.
I thought it was the one day.
No, you got it in the film for a week. He kept it in theaters long enough to get an Oscar nomination.
Well, try to.
well, Shannon, obviously he got it for Best Actor.
Yeah. Which is funny because James Franco might get it for Best
Actor.
Could you imagine if you brought Tommy Wiseau up on stage with him?
I would tune into the Oscars to see Tommy Wiseau on that stage. I think that honestly is the true underdog story right there.
I feel like he would propose the idea and people would be like, no. And then he would just do it anyways.
Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Tackle Tommy Wiseau on stage? Tommy Wiseau probably got some kung fu knowledge on him.
Real American movie.
Yeah. Damn.
Can we propose that idea to James Franco?
I guarantee you James Franco already has it in the works. You think him and Seth Rogen haven't been talking about that? I was saying that Seth Rogen was my favorite part of that movie, though. Just he was the audience member in this. He's like, oh, this looks like just the alley. Why aren't we shooting in the alleyway? Or he's.
Why is he laughing after that?
Or I was like, who doesn't recognize this fucking guy? It's like, how do you not recognize that guy? He's pretty distinct. No, and the side-by-side comparisons they did was, like, spot on. The woman who plays Lisa looks... Like, if you put those two side-by-side, I'd be like, who's the actress and who's doing, like, the reprisal?
Except for you can look at the hair and clearly tell that one's a wig.
Well, again, our cat is going nuts here in the studio.
Hey, studio.
Shut up. It's better than saying my spare bedroom.
My spare bedroom of toilet paper, some trolley, a couple of weights, cat food, printer, and a bunch of shit on the ground.
Not literal shit.
No.
Hey, we all start somewhere. Bill Gates started somewhere. What other movies are coming out that we'd like to see? I am intrigued by Murder on the Orient Express, but the trailer for that looks so boring, but the concept is interesting.
See, I find when they have a movie that has a ton of popular actors, it's normal shit.
Yeah, you're
Because
totally
it's
right.
somebody's who knows all the actors, somebody's friend or whatever, and then they just all do the movie together because whatever reason. Because they can get them all in there. Like, fucking Hail Caesar.
Was that the Coen Brothers movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was boring.
Yeah, no, that was shit. It made no sense. There's no reason for not Sarah Jessica Parker. Fucking Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson to be in that movie.
I don't remember. I remember that George Clooney was in it.
Yeah, he was Caesar.
And then I remember Channing Tatum was in it for like a dance number, and that was about
And
it.
then he was like the bad guy at the end. He was like a neo-Nazi or something.
Something.
And then there was the other guy.
I think it was a communist, not a neo-Nazi.
And the news reporters who were twins.
See, I don't even remember that part. And here's the thing I find with me and Coen Brothers movies, though. I find I have to watch each movie again, because every time I watch it again, their movies, they get better for me.
Like what?
Big Lebowski. Found it boring as hell the first time. Second time, started to laugh. Third time, laughed my ass off. Okay? But that as you get older, it works.
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men. First 3 times, boring as hell. Fourth time, greatest like suspense noir movie of the past
I think if
years.
you have to watch it multiple times to get some enjoyment out of it, it kind of makes me feel like you're just kind of numbing your brain.
No.
If I take acid a couple times, it'll all be okay.
No, these movies do get better. I have to watch Fargo again. No, True Grit.
I like Fargo.
True Grit I thought was boring. I watched it again a few months ago. I was like, this is a really good Western. Now, I'm not saying all the stuff that they touch is great. I'm just saying I find the more I watch it, too, I think it's a maturity thing, too. Certain things like The Big Lebowski didn't make sense to me in high school when I was in...
Still doesn't make sense to me.
It's just one of those movies that's just so, like... It's kind of like, what is going on? But I love the dude. Everybody loves the dude. The dude is...
Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is a great actor.
He's the dude?
He's always the dude to me, though. Every time I see him, I'm like, that's the dude.
I'm like, that's the guy from Trying True Grit.
He's the dude.
In that really shitty movie, R.I.P. Cop. Or R.I.P.D.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it's called. With
Well,
Ryan Reynolds.
The dude abides. Ooh, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool 2. Actually, to be fair, I'm going to say an unpopular thing. I thought Deadpool was overrated.
I still like it. It's kind of like the classic X-Men's. Where they're not, like, they don't have a big budget.
No.
Yeah, they did so well. But it still has that kind of vibe to it for me, even though it's like a decade later, which maybe it shouldn't be the same vibe as the original X-Men's.
Well,
if it's a decade later.
Well, not much happened in that movie. I can't remember a single thing that happened. Here's what I remember the most. The opening credits with the names of like some douchebag. That was the funniest part in the movie. After a while, I said this before. I'm like, I didn't think Deadpool could hold his own movie because I felt like his humor would get a little. And that was with me. Maybe it's just I'm not too big. I like stand-up comedy. I'm not too big into movie comedy. I feel like a lot of the jokes I can see coming, and especially when the music cues you and when the joke is supposed to happen, it's like, okay, just say something funny.
I think the other issue of Deadpool is that he talks to himself in his brain.
Yeah.
As if there's different voices, and it's kind of hard to communicate that through... It's hard to communicate that type of humor through a movie, but it's also... It's the way he interacts with the other heroes and villains, but since they had so little budget, they only had, 5 other side characters total.
I think Deadpool works good as a supporting character. Someone, I can't remember who it was. It might have been a YouTube comment, but I thought it would be hilarious. So, like, they're going to do a PG-13, like, Avengers movie, and they get Deadpool in there, right? And in a PG-13 movie, you can only get away with one F-bomb. So he's going to say it, but he wants to hold it for the right moment. And then someone steals it from him, and he goes, oh, what the... And he can't swear. Like, that would be hilarious. Like, it's a moment when it's like, it's just about his turn, and then, like, I don't know, Black Panther gets stealing. And he's like, you can't, that was mine! So, yeah, are you looking forward to the Infinity War?
Yeah, except for they told me who lives and who doesn't in the Black Panther already.
Oh, yeah. Black Panther, any character...
I think they expected nobody to go see, so they're like, fuck it, just release the trailer now.
I was asking Neil, who's my black friend, and that sounds so bad to begin with, but anyway... I asked him, what are you doing in February? He's like, I'm seeing Black Panther 78 times. He's like, I don't care if it's a shit movie, it's going to be the greatest movie ever made. So it's like, Black Panther will do fine in the box office, that's for sure. People are going to go see it.
Yeah.
You know who's not going to go see it?
Racist.
Old racist people. And guess what? They ain't getting out of their house anyway.
They're old. They have to use their Acorn stair lift.
They're what?
You don't know what an Acorn stair lift is?
No.
So they used to be infomercial on all the time. It was like, Acorn stair lift, and it would be like for your stairs, but there was like a little wheelchair on the side that would motor down for you.
Oh, is it? Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
I thought you said Acorn.
It is Acorn stair lift.
Isn't that just a brand?
Yeah, but that's what people know.
It just says stair lift.
No, it's an Acorn stair lift.
Okay, whatever, weirdo.
Not paid promotion.
Yeah, but if you'd like to pay promote, we would definitely love a sponsorship from you, Acorn Stairlift.
Or the Hurricane.
What is the Hurricane?
Cane.
Are you just watching infomercials now?
No.
Do you remember
Slap
that?
on. Slap off.
Do you remember that infomercial? Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
Life support.
Yeah, I just remember that as a kid being like, that was horrible. Probably the guy's mother.
Shit, wow. Hi, it's Billy Mays.
Oxycontin.
Oxycontin.
What's it called?
Oxycontin.
What's it called?
It's a
OxyClean.
OxyClean.
Oxycontin.
I told you about the lady that came to work and asked for Oxycontin, right?
Well...
No, I'll tell her. So I used to work at a drugstore, and there's these pads for acne. They're like soaked in the acne treatment, and they're called Oxy pads. And this old lady was looking for a couple things, and I was like, oh, can I help you find anything else? And she's like, well, I'm looking for Oxycontin. Do you guys have that? I'm like, oh, not here.
Nope.
Wrong dealer. Then she was like, oh, why don't you guys have that? It's for your face. I'm like, you mean Oxy pads.
Yeah. I work at a place where liquor is sold, and where we live, the discussion of legalizing cannabis is in the works, and everybody's asking, what's going on. And my standard comment to people when anybody says, oh, when are you guys going to start selling weed? And I said, listen, I've been selling weed behind the store for years. Just to see what the reaction, and most people chuckle. There's one old woman, though, gave me I'm going to call the police on you look.
In this prestigious town.
Yeah.
Oh, where all the old people come and all the people with rich money. Like, yeah, let's just go behind fucking Sobeys and get our dealer from the sketchy little guy.
Hey, I was going to say, you do what you got to do.
I feel like if the people that live up there have enough money to not buy from some sketchy guy behind a grocery store.
You'd think, but hey, you gotta play to win. You gotta get high, as they say. No, so Shanny, any other thoughts on movies you'd like to see coming up?
There's one, I just can't remember what it is. Because I remember looking at it and be like, oh, Dylan probably won't come with me.
You probably assume right. The fact that I didn't expect you to come to Star Wars. When you said I want to come, I'm like, you think I'm gonna go cheat on you? Is that what this is about? Yeah. Can't have no fun. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the TheGingerBinger podcast. We put out new episodes every Monday, an hour long, no longer, and enjoy, everybody. Have a great night.